On my journey to become the best version of myself during quarantine, I interviewed guests who gave their life experiences and expertise on love to finances and everything in between. Join me to learn a thing or two on becoming the best version of you with Gigi Show. Hey, Rhonda.
Hey, Marie. How are you?
I'm good. So, welcome back to another episode of Becoming the Best Version of You with G. And as you see, I have another special guest, and her name is Miss Rhonda. She is a wellness coach, amongst other things, and I'll let her give a proper introduction of all the many hats that she wears, which is pretty awesome, actually. And I am happy to be acquainted with her because we're going to be working together in the near future on making some changes to my diet, because I am looking to eat more healthier and transition into a plant-based diet. So I wanted her to come on to share all her nuggets, as I call them, all her words of wisdom on how to get us all on the right track to live, not have a diet, but actually live a healthier lifestyle, because this is not a temporary thing. Is that right, Rhonda?
That's right. That's right. It's definitely a transition into a new lifestyle. 2021's coming. What else is there to do but to change from where we come from?
Absolutely. And that's how this show got started, actually, becoming the best version of you with G, is because at the same time I'm becoming my best self while we were in quarantine, while we're going through the pandemic. And hopefully when we come out of it and come on the other side of it, we're better than we went into it. So the pandemic, unfortunately, isn't over yet. So we still have time to work on some things. And of course, we can continue on afterwards. But it's nice to not resume where you were, so that we can make some forward progress and movement. So, Rhonda, please formally tell us what all you do, how many hats you wear. I know last week I was bugging her, y'all. She was, it was in Texas.
Yes, I was in Dallas.
Okay, she was in Texas. She like, Mary, I am at what was it? Yoga
retreat.
Yoga retreat. Meditation retreat. I'm like, okay. So I'm glad that she's a busy lady, so she took the time out to chat with us. So tell us a little bit about some of your projects, Rhonda.
I think when you call me a wellness coach, that sums it all up. Okay. And if we look at what is wellness, it is a state of being where you find balance and contentment. And that falls in all aspects of our lives. So wearing a lot of hats comes from having lots of experiences, dealing with lots of things, both professionally and personally, which has given me really eyes in several different aspects of life to be able to help others. Like we were saying before we came on, at the end of the day, it's just being able to take what we've experienced to pass on to the next person so that they have a better experience with whatever they're going through. So that includes, and it's basically three aspects of life: health and wealth that I focus on. Life in all aspects. Again, I mainly focus on individuals who are in transition. So divorcees, empty nesters, people that have been through domestic situations, people that are looking to transform themselves health-wise. So in the health realm, if you have some disease or something that you're working with or trying to overcome, I help that person to make those lifestyle changes, not to follow a trend, but to actually change your life so that you can grab hold to the longevity that having a healthy lifestyle provides. And then finally, I'm a licensed wealth coach as well. And I have all of my licenses to help individuals from everything from budgeting, insurance, investments, retirement accounts, starting your own IRA, and learning how to save money and understanding how money works.
Wow.
So I do workshops. Yeah, I do workshops.
So it's like you like a one-stop shop. For real.
Yeah, wellness coaching. So if it happens in your life and you need support through it, I basically, if I can't do it, I can put you in the hands of someone that I trust that can help you through whatever you're going through.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, y'all. So we'll definitely get her contact information later on in the show for many reasons. Okay, so let's dive right in.
Okay, I'm ready.
What steps do we need to take to start the year off on a healthier note? And notice that I wanted to do this show before Christmas, because I know we about to go all in like we do. Exactly.
Make that belly happy.
Exactly.
Chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
I believe in moderation. So.
Right. You hear that, y'all? Moderation.
Moderation means you can have. You just can't have everything. You
can't have it all the time. All the time. So I wanted to bring her on so that we could get a little head start before the new year gets here, so we can already get this train moving, because I know a lot of us will start a New Year's resolution and be on it for a month or two and then fade out. But we are going to try our darnest, because this really does affect our health. We got to take this a little more serious, especially the older we get. You know, that's when those health issues try to peek their ugly heads. So we definitely need to take this into some serious consideration. So what are the steps we need to take to start the year off on a healthier note?
Well, I think with starting with that whole idea of resolution, you go to the gym in January, it's packed. You got to wait for a machine. You go February 26th, it's empty. Mm-hmm. And it's all those people, just like you said, they have these resolutions. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. It's the new year. And they hype because it's the new year, because we all have that energy to restart at that time of year. But they don't have necessarily a why. Why are you there? Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for all of us to develop actual true to life thing that's going to get you up every morning. What wakes you up in the morning and makes you get up and go to work? Mm-hmm. You got to pay bills. You got children to feed. So you have a why. So what compelling reason do you have to make a change? And if you don't have a compelling reason, you're not going to stick to it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the first step, of course, is to actually find a why. Find a compelling reason for you to actually start the whole journey. Don't do it because your girlfriend like, hey, I'm about to start this diet. Let's do it together. That's not going to get you in a month. You're going to be over it, because that's not your heart's not asking for that change. Mm-hmm. That's your friend's change. Mm-hmm. Or you did a little extra, had a 2, 3, 4, 5 extra plates during Christmas, and you gained 20 pounds. Ooh. And in January, you're like, I'm gonna work this off. But at the end of the day, why? Is it because you're trying to look good for someone else? Is it, I just don't like these dimples that's right here on my thigh? Uh-huh. I mean, what reason are you gonna get up? So the first step is definitely creating a true to life reason that's going to get you out of bed every morning to do the exercises, to be uncomfortable. Because especially with this pandemic, yes, we can go to the gym, but a lot of people still aren't comfortable with COVID running around to even leave the house. So are you going to get up out of your bed to go downstairs to put that video on to do it, to get the pounds off? Not if you're not compelled to do it. Mm. So I think that's the first and most important step. The steps that follow after that are just, it depends on what regime you choose. Mm-hmm. If it's an exercise program, then it would be to write down on your calendar what you're doing every day so you can see it in front of you. Put the calendar on the wall so you can see it. Even if you got to get a big sheet of poster board and put it up so that you can see what you're doing. Have that in front of you all the time. People laugh about people who use Post-it notes, but they're successful because what they're thinking is in front of them. So life doesn't take them off of their path. So get a poster board, put your vision on the board. Make a vision board. That's something that I have in a lot of my courses. The first thing is, what do you want out of this course? Put it in front of you so that you have your why staring you in the face every day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's the second step. Good. Get visual with it. Mm-hmm. And number 3, get an accountability partner. Mm. Who are you accountable to? Who's holding you accountable to what you said you want?
That's good. That's really good. I love that idea.
Yeah, and with that accountability partner, are they dedicated? Are they someone who's going to call you out on your stuff?
Right.
I don't mean your girlfriend who's gonna say, "Oh, you didn't get up and do. It's all right. We can start again tomorrow." No, somebody who's gonna call you out, and a lot of us don't have that as strong women, anyhow. Mm-hmm. I know I don't have very many people who call themselves calling me out on what I said I would do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
I have some girlfriends. They probably watching now. They do. My family. They do not mind.
My family probably wouldn't, but I do have a couple girlfriends who will. But it's still not very many people.
Right.
Do they have time in their schedule? Those people who will call you out, do they have time in their schedule? Can they dedicate themselves to call you every day at 5 o'clock to make sure you did what you said you were going to do?
Do you think it's beneficial to partner with somebody who is trying to go on the same journey as you and eat healthier and live a more healthier lifestyle?
Definitely someone who's on the same journey. I even recommend somebody who's further along on the journey, somebody who's been there.
Okay.
2 single women can't sit around and talk about what it's like being married because both of y'all by yourself.
Ooh, girl, you better preach. Okay.
So I'm not about to go to and this is no pun intended, I'm not going to my overweight friend and asking her to hold me accountable because she can't hold herself accountable.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, but
that's real.
The reality.
That's
real.
You
want serious change in your life, you have to make decisions that are practical.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Okay, so what is the first thing we need to get rid of out of the fridge and out of our cabinets or cupboards?
It depends on, again, what your why is and what you are, why you're taking this journey to become more healthy. Is it, again, just because I got dimples in my thighs? Is it because I've been diagnosed with diabetes? Is it because my boyfriend said I'm too fat? So if it's the first one, I got dimples, well, I may still choose to eat the same way, but I may just want to cut back. Mm-hmm. So instead of using one type of butter or margarine, I may go to, I cannot believe it's not butter, or something that I know is going to have less cholesterol and less fats, because I'm just filling out a little bit more than I want to. Mm-hmm. I'm going to change my diet and eat a few more salads. So that person doesn't really have to do that much.
Okay.
Someone, let's say, that's dealing with heart disease or high blood pressure or high cholesterol, however, the first thing they want to get out of their fridge is the pork, the salty food. They're gonna actually begin the dietary changes because their life depends on it. So that's a little different. So again, it just depends on what the person's dealing with. I look at as the people that I work with, my clients, as individuals. So I don't believe in a one size fits all. We all know when we go to the store that one size fits all outfit doesn't fit. Neither do these trendy eating lifestyles either.
Right.
So it depends on the person. That's the answer to that question, and where they are in their life.
And that'll depend on what we should remove from our fridge and cupboards. Okay, so as you know, we've chatted about me transitioning. Now, I already don't eat, and most of you guys already know this, pork and red meat, and I haven't 8, 9, 10. Wow, it's been 22 years.
Yay!
Yeah,
yeah. Once you choose, the time goes by, you don't even see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Every now and then, at a grill out, a cookout, and families, they on that grill with those Angus burgers. Every now and then, I wish I could bite into one, but I have to stick with my turkey burgers over there on the side, which do not taste like them. But I know it's healthier.
For you and everybody that's thinking about the cookout and I can't eat what I used to eat. As long as you're not vegan, which means absolutely no meat.
Right.
You have the option, like you said, of turkey burgers. If you allow lamb into your diet, you can have lamb that is still a healthy alternative to beef. There's the Beyond
so they have lamb burgers, like hamburgers.
You can go to the butcher and get lamb ground up.
Oh wow!
Just like beef.
Okay.
And it's delicioso.
Yeah, I gotta work myself up to that one right there.
I don't have it often, but that is if I eat meat, that is the meat that I eat. I'll eat lamb.
Okay.
And it's halal. I'm not just talking about it.
Yeah.
Halal meat,
yeah, for sure. That's what my stepfather eats. So, I want to talk about vegan and plant-based too. So, so I am, and for those who are watching who are also doing this, transitioning from meat diet to a plant-based diet. Now, like I said, I don't eat pork and beef, but I do eat poultry and turkey.
Fish.
I eat tuna because I'm allergic, so I just, that's not like a big deal because I rarely I have it every blue moon. So I'm trying to phase out of turkey and chicken. I'm surprised I don't have wings because I eat so much chicken. And I'm not talking about fried, but in every other form, that there is. So what would you tell individuals like myself who is really thinking and considering to omit meat and transition into the plant-based diet? What are some key things that we need to do and need to know?
Well, I think first of all, again, after you have discovered what that why is, because it is not easy.
Okay.
First of all, it's not easy. It definitely takes commitment and a strength within you because the world is not vegan. The world's not vegetarian. Like you talked about the cookout and how do you deal with family? Because I was vegan 15 years ago and the jokes were, oh, you're just going to have sides. Oh, you're not going to eat no real food, and so people who aren't of that lifestyle don't make it easy for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you, first of all, have support in your household because it is difficult. The next thing that you really need to focus on is what plants do you like? What do I like to eat and what don't I like to eat? Because you could find yourself in a whole new world with the foods that you do like to eat and all the different recipes that you find around them. Mm-hmm. So really identify what makes you happy, what foods make you happy, and which that don't.
Can you go into the difference between a vegan and a plant-based diet? Are they similar or the same? They are different. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to drop down to that because I know we definitely want to look at a whole food plant-based diet. Basically, is number one, you're going to minimize any processed foods. Number two, you're going to limit or avoid all animal products. And you really focus on making plants like 80 to 90% of your diet. So most of your meals are not going to include any form of meat. A vegan lifestyle includes no animal products whatsoever. So plant-based or vegetarian, it depends on what vein you come through. Those two basically can be interchanged. Just means I can have a salad with no meat on it, but I can still have cheese. I can have toast and I'm still going to put butter on it. A vegan doesn't eat butter. A vegan doesn't eat anything that has any part of it is used by an animal. So they're literally only going to eat foods that are sourced from the earth and nothing else.
Okay.
So I was a vegan for about 2.5 years. And I'm a small woman. I'm 130 pounds. At my heaviest. So,
okay.
There is significant weight loss when you decide to shift your diet when you've been eating meat. And I went hardcore into veganism.
Okay.
And when I say hardcore, it's mean I went from eating meat to cutting off everything and only eating vegetable substances as my food. So my body shifted. And I was just too small. My family was concerned. My doctors weren't concerned.
Okay.
But my family was concerned.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, I'll tell you what they said. They put the C head name out there.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't
like
that.
Yeah.
Us in the Black community, we're round women.
Yeah.
And I lost all my curves.
Okay.
So it was fine if someone was heavier. But for me as a small woman, I began to add a little bit of more substance back into my diet and just became vegetarian.
Yeah.
So the next shift is vegetarianism. And again, it's mostly plant-based, as like I said, 80 to 90% with that 10% window. Mm-hmm. People say 75% and a 25% window for meats. It just depends on the person. And I felt very comfortable there. And I've been that most of my life, most of my adult life. Mm-hmm. It was, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago that I introduced chicken back into my diet. And so I'll have chicken and turkey. And every blue moon, I'll have a taste of lamb.
So which one of the diets can you have carbs? Any one of those?
You can have carbs in any of those.
Okay. That's what I want to. That's my own personal question.
Even as a vegan, you can have couscous, you can have rice, but we recommend whole rice.
Right.
Not white rice. White rice has no substance. And
right.
So this is the other piece. When you're beginning to transform the way you eat, it's important that you understand, why do we eat? What do we eat for?
That's a good question.
What's the purpose of it? Mm-hmm. It's actually for your body to take in nutrients to feed your cells. Mm. So everything you eat is masticated, which is chewed up, and broken down into a liquid. That liquid is then broken down into vitamins and minerals. Mm. And then the body assimilates it. And then what you don't use comes out the back end.
Okay.
So why are you eating?
That's a good question.
That should also be a part of this conversation. It's not just, I'm going to go plant-based because that's what everyone says is the healthiest thing. It is healthy, and there are tons of benefits for it.
Can you name a few of those benefits?
Mm-hmm. First of all, we've talked about people with diseases that are going on. They have different diseases going on. So if you have digestive issues, if you're slow, I've had women come to me that said they haven't had a bowel movement except every cycle.
What does that mean?
That was normal. They didn't have a bowel movement unless they were on their periods. Outside of that, they didn't poop.
For weeks?
That was like the worst case scenario, yes.
Wow.
So digestive health is everything. We should be pooping every time we eat. If you've ever taken care of a baby, you ever fed a baby.
That's true.
And at the same time, what are they doing?
That is the truth. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm. That's the way the digestive system is supposed to work. So the doctor will say, it's okay if you poop once a day. But if you're eating 3 to 5 times a day and you're only pooping once, that's 4 poops that's still inside of you.
And that's not healthy, right?
It's definitely not healthy. It contributes to being overweight, cellulitis, acne, hair loss, bad breath, high cholesterol. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the benefits of a plant-based diet are definitely it supports digestive health, because we need those vegetables to flush and sweep the colon to get the waste out. And if that waste doesn't come out, then of course it backs up and we have other health issues. It supports cardiovascular health. So the heart, we definitely support the heart when you eat a plant-based diet. Why? Because cholesterol basically comes from animals. There's some fats that you can get from plants that are a little thicker, but for the most part, high cholesterol comes from eating a fatty substance that is in an animal, their fat, that is used for them to stay warm. We're eating it and our body just stores it. What else is it supposed to do with it? And it gets stuck in our blood system and on the walls of the vessels of your veins and arteries. And then that's what causes heart attacks and strokes.
That's
so
serious.
Meat, huh?
I said, that's serious.
Eliminating meat eliminates the chances for heart attacks and strokes.
Wow.
Or decreases for the most part. Yeah, because we can't take into account what you've done in the past. Not everything is erased just from starting or changing your diet. There's more to it than that.
Okay. Wow, that's some really good information. I
still have a whole list of benefits. If you
girl, go ahead.
Weight loss.
Okay.
How many people want to lose weight? By not eating meat, you can definitely, even in the first week of not eating meat, you'll lose 5 to 10 pounds just because of the waste that eating forgive me if it sounds gross and if it grosses anyone out, but the waste from eating a dead animal is heavy on the body compared to the waste of eating a plant, which is very light on the body. It supports healthy skin. So fruits and vegetables naturally detox the body. So you naturally get that glow when you eat a healthier plant-based diet.
Yeah, you have nice skin.
Thank you. Most of the time, sometimes, I break out too, like everybody else does around my cycle, but can't get away from that. Haven't found out how to get away from that.
Girl, tell me about it.
Transforming to a plant-based diet definitely helps diabetics. If anyone on this show
that's
diabetic,
good.
30 days as a vegan, you'll basically eliminate your diabetic status.
Really? My girlfriend and I were talking about that conversation earlier today about diabetes. So I know, and educate me, that there are different types of diabetes.
Definitely. I just did a show last month on diabetes in November.
So can you, in that 30 days of plant-based, it will, no matter what type you have?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Type 1 diabetes is for people first of all, diabetes is a kind of like an autoimmune disease where your pancreas, and there's like a lock and key between sugar and the blood system. And the pancreas is kind of the doorway for it. Insulin is the key that opens the door to allow your body to absorb the sugar and store it away as energy. People with type 2 diabetes, their key doesn't always work. So their sugar can get too high. They'll be prescribed metformin, which is an oral pill that they'll take that'll help their body be able to use the key all the time. People with type 1 diabetes, the key has been lost, is thrown away. Their natural insulin doesn't work. So the body can't absorb the sugar at all. So they have to get injections of insulin to give their body the key to be able to store the sugar. And there are other types, but those are the main 2 types of diabetes. And so plant-based diet helps people with type 2 diabetes because then it helps the body balance and be able to use that key all the time without issue.
Okay. Wow, that's really good information. I hope you guys taking notes out there.
I hope so too. I hope so too. I'll go through the next pretty quickly. A plant-based diet helps people with mental health. Definitely supports positive mental health. Promotes having more energy. Reduces cholesterol. Helps with insomnia. Fights cancer cells. And supports longevity. So it also supports a long life.
So that y'all, this I call them nuggets when it's some good information, a teachable moment. So you're saying, she said the C word. So you're saying that switching to a plant-based diet can help an individual prevent cancer or help if they've been diagnosed?
Both.
Wow.
What is cancer? What is cancer?
I don't know. A disease.
A disease of usually tumors. That's how they know you have cancer. You have a tumor.
Okay.
What is a tumor?
A growth?
A growth. A growth of mutated cells. Our whole body is nothing but trillion. I think it's like 30 trillion cells. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on how many trillion, but it's trillions of cells. And each cell makes up a tissue. Each tissue makes up a system. Y'all went to school. Y'all remember biology. That stuff is real. That's all that our bodies are made up of. Little tiny cells. And cancer is just a growth of mutated cells. How do cells mutate? It's because they don't have the proper information. Where does information come from? Our food. So what you take into your body, from the environment, from what you eat, if you smoke, if you are in, let's say, and I don't want to exclude or include anybody, but those that live downriver have a higher instance of cancer because they have all that pollution that's pumping right into the air down there. And so they're breathing in all those poisons they're consuming, and the poisons are killing their cells and mutating their cells, and it's a disaster. Eating a plant-based diet allows for your body to have the proper nutrients, because every night when you go to sleep, your body is regenerating cells. But if you haven't taken in the right information or nutrients, then your body doesn't have what it needs to create new cells. So the cells that it creates can be misformed, mutated, what have you. We don't know. It depends on the person.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, we just aren't taught these things. But excuse me, I've been down, but we just aren't taught these things.
Yeah, so. That's it. It's true. It's true. It's a learned behavior as it pertains to what we grew up eating. Even back to slavery, even, we were given the leftovers, and we made some good. We made do, and it was good, because we know how to make it. Yeah, soul food still is good. Most definitely. But I know that it is not healthy to eat it all of the time.
It's just a change of how we eat it. I eat greens and cabbage a lot. Okay. But I don't boil it and put all that stuff in it. I stir fry my greens.
You're the second person that told me that.
It maintains their flavor. It takes 30 minutes, 45, as opposed to greens sitting on the stove all day, doing all that extra.
So what I eat kale, and spinach and all these things in my smoothies, or, in salads or whatever the case may be. My sister was telling me that her and my niece make these kale chips in the oven. And I'm like, what? So I haven't got that far deep. I have tapped into, vegan and vegetarian things for many, many years, but this will be a first for me to, leave meat alone, totally. So I think I'm going to transition into it.
I think maybe just try a week. Start off, or in a day. You remember everyone used to talk about Meatless Monday? You remember that?
No, because I probably never did it.
Pick a day out of the week. Try a meatless Monday.
Okay.
And do it every Monday. Just commit to not eat meats one day a week and see how you feel.
Now, I don't eat meat in every meal. So that's not a problem, because in my head, I know that I am going to eat it either the next day or, the day after that. I know it's not going for good. So it's not a big deal. But to go on and on, weeks and months at a time. I mean, it was kind of easy when I gave up pork and red meat, even though those are some heavy duty, meats. But I gave it up for Lent.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And
you had a why.
Yeah, that was my why. And apparently it's been my why for 22 years. I had no I had no idea when I did it that it was going to be that long. But I was just a little nervous incorporating those two meats into my diet again, and how my body will react to it. So then I saw this video that really put the cherry on top. So I was just like, you know what? I'm okay. I'll stick with, the poultry, and I'll stick with, the turkey, and I've been all right. But to give all of it up, that's a whole nother beast. So
it is and could be, but everything starts with your perspective on it.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you were open to the idea because of Lent to release some things. And my thing is, if you'll do it for God for 40 days, it should definitely be a lifestyle. If you can do it that long, can you do it for yourself for 40 days? Maybe give yourself a Lent type detox and start off in that fashion, or wait till Lent. We're almost at that time of year,
When does Lent start?
I believe it's in February.
Okay. Maybe I will then.
But it's at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
It's before Easter. And Easter is in either March of the year or April. So I'm thinking sometime in February, at the end of February, it may be Lent. So that would be a good time for you to do it again, since it's worked for you already.
That is true.
But for other people who don't have who still eat meat every day, they can try a meatless Monday.
Right.
Or like yourself, wait until Lent and just see how they do with, 40 days of not taking that in.
Yeah. And, I probably do need to make some kind of adjustment before then, but go all in I can do for Lent. But I probably need to try, doing a transition to lead up to that,
Yeah, I would say a lot of preparation. You were asking, what do we need to do in the fridge? So I would say get ready to start changing things out of your cupboards. I know you're probably not someone who's using Lori seasoned salt, but if you are, transitioning to putting garlic and sea salt on your foods to bring out flavor, as opposed to using this chemical hodgepodge that is in that bottle that causes high blood pressure.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Rhonda. So I see sea salt. We probably all see sea salt all over the place. So is it really healthy? Like if you have high blood pressure, should you not eat that also, or that's a different kind of salt?
Okay, so Lori's is definitely a no-no for someone with high blood pressure.
Okay.
Sea salt actually has minerals in it from the earth, because it comes from the earth, so you don't need as much.
Okay.
And it has a more pungent, salty taste than the item. The lady with the umbrella, I don't remember what her name.
Right.
What it's called.
Right.
But it's just a different. It's more pungent. It's stronger because it's from the earth as opposed to something we've made. So again, it just depends on where you are. Someone with high blood pressure, I probably wouldn't tell them to have sea salt. I would probably tell them to try a salt alternative that has absolutely no salt in it, because they don't need that if they're trying to decrease their blood pressure. I give them an alternative, an accent, a Mrs. Dash, or again, go to the herbs themselves, onion powder, garlic powder,
yes,
paprika. I would give them that as an option. Mix them all up in one container, and that's your seasoned salt.
that's really good. I write that down, y'all, because I didn't write it. I didn't. My mother watched it. I write that down. Okay, because we were talking. She's going to join. She's going to join me. And my mother said she needs to lose. Well, I won't get a number, but she gave a number. But she said she needs to lose because she has diabetes. So me and my sister, we're all trying to do this thing together, so that we all can, live a healthier lifestyle, including my stepfather. But he probably didn't sign up for it. But he gonna be an honorary guest to join the party. Okay, so this is really good information. So you mentioned detoxing. Mm-hmm. So is that necessary? A twofold question. Is it necessary to do that prior to starting a plant-based diet? And what is the healthiest way to detox? Because there's all kind of bottles with pills. Then there's all kind of smoothies. There's all kind of juices. So educate us on that.
So I think the word detox is overused.
Okay.
Because your body detoxes every time you sit on the commode. That's a detox.
Okay.
Your body's always naturally cleansing itself and getting rid of what it no longer needs. Mm-hmm. Through sweat, through tears, through using the bathroom, even your pores breathing. They're releasing toxins all the time. That's why you can sometimes smell people.
Wow.
Not necessarily just funky, but just their essence, because the body's always excreting. So detoxing is a term that's thrown around all the time. Mm-hmm. Do I believe that you should take a concentrated effort at the beginning when you're trying to make a change? Yes, because it takes 21 days to create a habit.
Right.
So you need to do that for 21 days, the same thing, until your body, your mind, and your spirit and all parts of you say, oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, we getting up to do that again. We did it yesterday. We're going to do it again today, until it becomes automatic. Once it becomes automatic, then it's done. There's, day 3 of a detox, as we call them. Day 3, you're like, I'm starving. I can't do this. But by day 4, you're like, you know what? I'm okay.
So is detox, for those who don't know what detox is that not eating anything, or is that, because I do know that I don't know if that's a fair question, because there is so many ways to detox, but what way besides, the natural way, but if somebody wanted to give a specific, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the products that people offer just help your body to do what it does naturally.
Okay.
So again, it would depend on your why and what you are detoxing from. Are you detoxing to lose weight? Are you detoxing because you have fibroids? Are you detoxing because you have digestive issues? Because let's say it's digestive issues, you would need to do a colon cleanse. So you would start your change of lifestyle with the concentration of your colon. So those detoxes, those one-stop shops, they all can work. But if you don't have a regime that you're going to follow and follow up after the kickstart, then you're not going to go anywhere with that. Mm-hmm. I know many people that have bought boxes of stuff. You take it for whatever amount of time, and then if you don't have a why, and then you don't have a regime or a blueprint of some form to know what to do throughout, then it doesn't really help. Mm-hmm. I think we all need a kickstart before we decide to change our lives in whatever way we're doing it. And then we need support along the way. Someone who can support our nutrition, who can see how we did on the detox. Was it the right detox? Did it help? Did it hurt? Every person is different, and everyone's going to respond differently to whatever it is that they are taking in, Mary.
So how do we go about finding which detox is right for us?
Again, depending on what your issues are.
Okay.
And what's standing out.
Okay.
So let's just take your mom. Let's use her for an example, because I know that's what one of your concerns is. She's looking at detoxing her pancreas because she has diabetes. So you would look for something to take care of the kidneys, the liver, and the pancreas. And adrenal glands.
Oh, okay.
So that would be her focus, because she's looking at taking care of diabetes. You're not going to find a box, because, you know, unfortunately, the consumers that are us, we look for that one fix. I'm going to get this and it's going to fix me.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
Not even if it's from the health food store?
No, there's no one thing that's going to fix you. You do need the support of someone. Just like you can't go and diagnose yourself and take your own medicine and prescribe your own medicine. I don't know why we think that we can do that by just purchasing a box of something and fix ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
That box is fine, but you need somebody there to help you along the way, to support you in whatever it is you're trying to do, because that box is just one part of the whole, you know, the whole thing. Let's say if you're building a house, you can't just build the whole house with a hammer. You need more tools than just that one thing.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So you have to have a why, and you have to be specific in the area in which you would like to cleanse.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Because I know there's like 3 days, 7 day. Well, I think one of my girlfriends was on a 10-day, and I'm like, oh, child, 10 days. But I guess, you know, it just depends on what your focus is, what your goal is.
Yeah, because let's look at that. You said 3 days, 7 days, 10 days. But if it's a kickstart, you're trying to change your lifestyle. Doing 3 days of nothing is going to change the 20 years you'd have put into messing up.
Ooh, that's good. That's the
10
truth.
days ain't going to take care of 20 years of messing up.
Dang. So what is?
Lifestyle change is the only fix.
Okay.
And those are kickstart programs. Those are to get you used to doing this.
Okay.
Giving you 3 days. Oh, this is all right. I can do 3 days. Or you know what? This was the worst 3 days of my life. That's not for you.
Okay.
Or it works for you.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And you can also detox by simply drinking, you know, like smoothies with certain vegetables and fruits in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So forgive me, what's your question again? I didn't carry that last one.
Girl, don't give me the line. So I believe we were talking about, you know, you could detox by eating, you know, certain vegetables and fruits. Not eating, but drinking, you know, like different juicing or smoothies to help you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a pill, you know what I'm saying, of some sort. It can be by simply, you know, doing some research and pulling, because certain foods will clean you out.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, for my clients, I recommend a nutritional detox. All of my detoxes are nutritional. I don't have people do water fasts. I think that's great for spiritual shift.
Okay.
But anytime you are looking to heal the body in one form or another, even including with weight loss, I think that you should be giving the body the proper nutrients, which means you should be eating things. Again, I'm going to use your mother as an example, shifting her to eating foods that are going to support her kidney, liver, and pancreas, so that that diabetes and her adrenal glands, so that the diabetes can be addressed by feeding the body what it needs. And so when she sleeps and her cells regenerate, they have what they need. So they naturally get stronger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's very important. I hope you're listening, Mom. So no worries, you'll
be picking on her.
No worries, you'll get the recap. Okay, so I know and we won't hold you up too much longer, but I know that you do some work which I thought was darn interesting with doctors and the cardiovascular system. Can you tell us what that is about and what is the training for?
Okay, so I started out as a nurse.
Okay.
And then became a cardiovascular specialist.
Okay.
My training was done in the 90s, so it's very different than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, programs have been developed to do what it is that I've done. But as a cardiovascular specialist, I started in the cath lab. So if you're familiar with when someone has a heart attack, they go to the hospital, they go into the OR or procedure room, and the doctor unplugs the artery that's blocked so that the heart can beat again and function. That's where I started, assisting the doc. But just as the Holy Spirit has it, I began precepting other people who would do my same job. I began teaching them how to do my job. And then as the residents and the fellows and the students, the physicians, the medical students would come in, I would teach them what I was doing. And all of this was just as I was just a cardiovascular tech at that time. However, the physicians began to rely on me to support them. And eventually they would be out seeing patients in the hospital, and I'd be doing the procedures, unblocking people's hearts, shooting the coronaries, and doing all that stuff by myself.
Wow.
I was picked up by an outside company that provided us with the equipment that we use, then began teaching doctors across the country about anatomy and physiology. And the company that I went to work for actually had a 3-dimensional imaging system that we used. And after teaching the residents or young doctors about anatomy, we do a heart dissection program. So I don't know, for those of you who've been on my Facebook page, you'll see a bunch of doctors surrounding me and a heart and lung system.
Girl, I will pass out.
What? And I'll show them the different parts of the heart. And so I've always been a teacher, and I've done that for 20 years, either teaching them on the system, on the 3-dimensional system, or teaching them on a cadaver type heart.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty impressive, Rhonda.
Been doing that forever. In addition to that, hosting, putting together board review courses for those that are looking to be certified to do this work, and also putting together heart programs for the community. And so I went from there to coaching. Mm-hmm. And in addition to all of my training in Eastern medicine too. So I've always been a seeker of sorts. And so I also have certifications in Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and right now getting certifications in meditation. And I also have some in Taoist healing. So
what was the last one, Rhonda?
A way of bridging what we call allopathic medicine or Western medicine. And in the West, we believe in cutting, burning, destroying, and putting band-aids on stuff through medicine.
Yeah.
But in the East, they look at the body as one. And it's more about bringing balance to the body, because dis-ease is just that. It's not what we've been taught. We've been taught the word disease is a thing because we don't even understand English anymore. Dis-ease means you're not at ease. The body is not at ease. Disorder means the body is not in order. So the Eastern medicine looks at putting the body back into balance, back into order, back into a state of ease. And how do you put a body back into ease? You feed it nutrients. That's all the cells need is nutrients so that they can reproduce correctly, so that we don't have disease or fat or anything where we're off balance.
That is so good. Wow, Rhonda, that is pretty darn impressive, if I do say so myself. Girl, that went way over my head. Wow, that is.
I was trying to keep it down to earth.
No, it was. Yeah, it was. But that's pretty interesting. Wow, that's outstanding. So, y'all, we got to find out where we can get in touch with Miss Rhonda One Stop Shop so you guys can sign up for some of her extraordinary services. Really, they are. I am definitely, she already know that in the upcoming new year, you know, probably around Lent, that's probably when I'm going to need her the most, because I'm going to need a wellness coach to, you know, transition for real. I don't know if I could do that one by myself like I did the pork and beef. So she definitely would be my what'd you call it, your accountability partner when that time comes. So where can they locate you or find more information or sign up for any of your courses or just learn more about your program, Rhonda?
Well, first I'm on Facebook. Okay. And I have a group called #FixYourHealth. It's open to the public. I post tons of information there on a daily basis, and all of the events that are held in that space are different webinars, and just like this forum here, you know, video, interactive platform for us to talk about all these different things. And I do a health webinar once a month, and I do an essential oil. I use essential oils because those are God's medicines. They are the life force of plants that are infused to our cells, can help us just as drinking smoothies can.
Girl, I love essential oil. Okay, so I don't know. Oh, you did mention that to me. Okay, I forgot about that. So tell us, before you go, tell us a little bit about what essential, because I'm not going to lie, I love them. I love the smell of them. You know, I'm an incense oil type of girl, so I'm into it, no doubt. But prior to my education of essential oils, besides liking the smell, I didn't realize the potency and how they actually really do work. And they actually do, you know, they say, you know, they can do. So tell us, for those who aren't familiar, have no idea, you know, what we're talking about, why essential oils are so significant.
Well, first I want to say not all essential oils are the same. So what I'm going to talk about, I need to make a disclaimer. You cannot eat the essential oils that you buy at the store. So that means they're not the lifeblood of the plant. Okay. I'm going to start there. Okay. There's a difference between a smell good essential oil and a therapeutic grade supplement essential oil.
Okay.
So I deal with the therapeutic ones, which are the real plants, as opposed to the smell goods. Okay. The real plants smell good too, but they're not just chemicals. And what they are is, we know the importance of taking in that smoothie and eating all those fruits and vegetables because it's going to make us healthier. It's the same thing when you put 2 drops into a veggie capsule and consume it. Or put a little bit of real peppermint on your temples if you have a migraine, because essential oils are going to be absorbed into the bloodstream. And just like eating, the nutrients are going to flood our cells. But the essential oils are concentrated. In 1 drop of lemon essential oil, you have 75 lemons. Wow. So can you imagine eating 75 lemons? We all know lemons help detox the system. So what does 75 of them do? A rapid detox. So that's kind of the reasons why I use essential oils and how they work. They're like concentrated efforts of whatever it is that you're trying to do with the foods.
That is so wonderful. Okay, y'all, we're going to have to, that's a whole nother show. It is a whole nother show. Because I know it's so many, and they work on different parts of the body for different ailments.
And I do that every month. So you'll find, you'll find the essential oil programs, and there's also the memes and stuff that I put up about essential oils. And if someone really wanted to get in touch and really wanted to work with me, they can find me on my website at healingheartswellness.net.
Job well done, girl. You are so knowledgeable about your craft. She truly is. And as usual, I always learn from my own show, from every guest that come on there.
By the grace of God. I'm responsible for any of it. I'm just grateful that it was put in my lap for me to share with other people.
Yeah, it's definitely a gift, no doubt, for sure. So I'm thankful that God gave it to you to share with us. So appreciate your obedience. Okay, lady, I appreciate you joining us on Becoming the Best Version of You with G, my corny little finger thing I added on there.
My grandson does.
Really? I used to be laughing at people when they did it. I'm like, okay, now you telling your age, you doing this finger thing. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We had some adjustments here and there and everywhere, but I appreciate you following through. And I enjoyed our talk. So guys, you heard it from one of the experts herself on wellness. She's a one-stop shop. So follow her on Facebook and check her out on her website. You will maybe we'll circle back around when I start, when I get into my whole transition, so she can tell y'all how I'm doing or not. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I'm doing good. Hopefully that's what she says. Okay, well, thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you. So thank you for having me. Absolutely. Until then, have a good evening.
You too. Peace and blessings to you and your viewers.
Thank you, and happy holidays, everybody. Well, that concludes the Becoming the Best Version of You with Gigi show. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, y'all. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and check out our other inspiring videos. Until next time, toodles.